This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your source for the latest Iowa ag news headlines right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, Mark Magnuson, and Andy Peterson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Mark.
Hello and welcome into Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. Today is Thursday, October 16th, 2025, and we're so glad you can join us for today's show. In today's episode, I will be joined by Jason Meyer of agmarket.net for our closing market discussion. In today's show, I will bring comments from United States Senator Chuck Grassley as the Republican had his weekly ag conference call last week and made some comments about the government shutdown.
Yesterday, Trump met with Argentina's president discussing a bailout for that country through a currency swap. This comes a few weeks after Argentina lowered its export tariff and sold billions of dollars worth of soybeans to China. At the same time, American soybean farmers remain shut out of the Chinese market due to Chinese tariffs on American soybeans going there. The Trump administration needs to provide more detail on the underlying terms of its agreement to aid Argentina. While long-term solutions are ultimately needed to make Argentina's economy sound, we should remember a part of the solution is more trade, not less trade. The United States and Argentina should work together to reduce trade barriers between each other and to turn away from China. In the meantime, President Trump can do three things for soybean farmers right now. He can finalize the proposed rules to increase RVOs. Secondly, reallocate 100% of small refinery exemptions and maintain the half RINs for foreign feedstocks and fuels. These three policies under the renewable fuel standard will help drive down demand for soybeans, and it will help reduce some pressures to sell soybeans to China. Now, there's another thing the president can do, but it involves Congress enacting legislation. The president should be encouraging Congress or urging Congress or even demanding Congress to pass E15 legislation sponsored by me and Ernst and Klobuchar, a bipartisan bill that's badly needed for certainty because we do have E15 nationwide year-round by presidential waiver each year. But until we get the legislation passed, we're never going to get the investment by retailers to make sure that the E15 pumps can be equipped to put out E15 on a regular basis, and consumers can count on it, and retailers can count to do it. So I would urge the president, in addition to the three things he can do on his own, is get Congress on the stick of passing E15 legislation.
That was United States Senator Chuck Grassley in his comments from his weekly ag conference call. It is time now for our closing markets. I will be joined by Jason Meyer of agmarket.net next. But first, a word from the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soybean Checkoff.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Joined now on the closing markets here on Ag Matters PM by Jason Meyer of agmarket.net. Jason, at least through midday, it was a mostly positive day in the ag markets. How did we finish?
Yeah, corn and beans finished a little bit off their highs today, and kind of the reason for the rally early this morning is that there's a lot of talk that China still needs 8 to 9 million tons of soybeans in December and January timeframe. And then President Trump and Xi, the meeting is coming, 2-3 weeks here. So there's a lot of anticipation that maybe China will buy some beans from the U.S., especially since beans in Brazil are $1.20 to $1.10 higher for China than what they are here in the U.S. So the U.S. is in a great position potentially to see some soybean exports to China.
And with all that being said, sometimes the marketplace does kind of pick up on something and you'll start to see a little momentum rolling and you think, wait, what's going on? But behind the scenes, it does sound at least like there's a little more optimism towards these soybeans being opened back up to the Chinese market, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's for sure. And yeah, it seems like these markets without the lack of any government data, we're really trading a lot of headlines. And yeah, nice headline on the soybeans today, and soybeans got to a technical level, and that just provided a little bit of resistance. We're still up on the day, but technicals are ruling the day with no government data here.
On the other side of the ag marketplace, what did we see in the trade for cattle and hogs today?
In livestock trade today, we had the cattle markets making new contract highs once again. This kind of comes as a surprise because there's some talk that President Trump is going to meet with some Brazilian representatives about the high tariffs. So good for the cattle market today. And then on the hog side, the free fall continues. The hogs were lower. We're seeing some long liquidation continue in these lower prices.
He is Jason Meyer of agmarket.net. Head to agmarket.net for all of the resources and information from the team and to get in touch with Jason and the rest of the squad at agmarket.net. Jason, thanks so much for the time. Always appreciate it, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Mark. Everybody have a great day as well.
Thank you to Jason Meyer of agmarket.net for joining today's show for our closing market discussion. Let's take a look at the final numbers from the ag marketplace. And you can find that information anytime under the Markets tab of our website at iowaagnet.com. December corn closes up 5 cents at $4.21 3/4. November soybeans up 4 1/4 at $10.10 3/4. December soybean meal up $1 at $2.7690. December soybean oil up 7 cents at $50.87. Chicago wheat up 3 3/4 at $5.02 1/2. Minneapolis wheat down 2 pennies at $5.50. Kansas City hard red wheat is up 1/2 cent at $4.88 3/4. December oats down 1 1/2 at $2.91 1/2. On the Merc, December live cattle close up $1.10 at $247.88. November feeder cattle up 28 cents at $380.95. December lean hogs down $1 at $82.60. December pork cutout unchanged at 92 even. Class 3 milk up 25 cents at $16.54. That wraps up our closing market coverage for today and brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can follow us on social media at Facebook and X, and you can listen to our morning, midday, and closing market podcast, as well as our daily episodes of our Iowa Ag Matters podcast at Apple, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube, and Podbean. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Mark Magnuson. For Riley Smith, Dustin Huffman, and Andy Peterson, we thank you for watching Ag Matters PM.